Good evening. This is Christina Sky coming in today in place of Angel Gold, who is still on her retreat in Tulum. If you haven't seen her post about Tulum in the short video that she's posted, I would definitely recommend you have a look. It looks like a truly magical place as she escapes Canada's cold and dark winter. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about December, how December can be both beautiful and overwhelming as we approach the shortest day of the year, the day with the most hours of darkness. I think it's really important to reflect upon some values and look at how we can look at them in a positive light to help us move forward. Instead of striving for perfection, when we choose to anchor ourselves in these types of values, that's how we get through December. Let's be honest. But we always need to honor both the light and the shadow aspects. So the four things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about hope, joy, peace, and love. People talk about these things in relation to Christmas, but I think that they're bigger than that. They're not just about one holiday. They're about an entire season. They're about a season where things get really tough for some people. And I think some of us feel that, and some of us see that every day. We start with hope. Hope is our ability to imagine something better, even when things feel uncertain. Hope helps us to move forward. And hope reminds us that change is possible. But hope isn't always positive. Hope has a shadow aspect. In the shadow aspect of hope, that's where pressure to stay positive, even when we're exhausted or hurting, comes in. That is the shadow aspect of hope. We can embody the light aspect of hope, the healthy part, if we allow room for both truth and possibility. We have to take small steps and set gentle intentions and let hope come in quietly, not be forced. The second aspect we're going to look at briefly is joy. In its light, joy lives in small, ordinary moments of every day. Conversation with a friend, laugh, a warm cup of coffee if that's what you like, sharing a smile, just being present with one another. Joy is presence. It's not perfection. But in its shadow aspect, joy can turn into comparison. It can be guilt for not feeling happy enough, or toxic positivity. True joy is embodied when we give ourselves permission to feel what's real, while still noticing what brings lightness, beauty, and that feeling of being alive. I think that's what joy is about. The third one is peace. In the darkness of December, as we look for peace, peace is steadiness, it's rest, it's inner calm. This is a time of year for us to slow down, hibernate, not literally, but just step back, notice what's going on around you. Slow down, soften into what this season holds. There's a shadow aspect to peace as well. Peace can be avoidance, bypassing hard feelings and difficult conversations. This is a time of connection for people. This is a time where there's a lot of expectation to socialize, to go out, to do all the things. But if that doesn't bring peace, If that's forced, again, that's not the light side of peace. And it's not peace when we avoid the things that we need to do, avoid the things that we need to talk about. That doesn't bring peace. It might temporarily, but that will almost always result in the opposite as time goes on. Healthy peace is when we choose rest without disappearing, and calm without silencing what needs to be heard. And the last one is love. Love in its light form is compassion, connection, care, and belonging. It's how we show up for each other, how we show up for ourselves, most importantly. But love too has a shadow aspect. In the shadow, love can be overgiving, overextending yourself, abandoning yourself and what you need, staying in places that hurt us, that cost us our well-being, that cost us our peace. We embody grounded love when we pair kindness and boundaries, generosity with self-respect, and care for others with care for ourselves. So again, it's all about balance. These 4 ways of being are not ideals to perfect. They're practices we return to again and again with honesty and gentleness. And I think it's really important, especially at this busy and dark time of year, to really think about those and to think how we can embody them to stay more grounded and to honor and nurture true connection and let the light in. That's all I think for tonight. Have a great night, and we will see you next week.